Life Without Sports, a Friday edition. This will be maybe an abbreviated edition. I got to hit the golf links.
Yeah, this is really a peek inside the pandemic
Yeah.
with Mike Pacheco.
Well,
First
single
of all, I'm
carts,
wondering.
and everybody keeps about 10 feet away on the tee box and on the green, so it's safe.
Such a hardship for you.
It is a hardship.
Yeah.
Hey, this is only the third time I've worn pants and a shirt in a while.
You have to stay 10 feet away. Yeah, usually we're seeing like a cereal or something on your chest.
That's right. Yes, cereal. Yeah,
Today you're going with a Jesper Parnevik collection.
I am going with it. Well, it's actually the Nike golf collection, I think, with the Adidas pants. If you
I
want
always
to know.
knew you were going to be a Nike guy. After you shot a 110, you're definitely destined to be a Nike guy.
It's a good thing they cut out of golf.
Nike heard about Mike Pacheco and his tendency to lose a lot
That's
of
right.
balls.
Lose a lot. That's right.
Hey,
That's why I'm a spokesperson for them, because they keep buying more gear.
what's the
More golf balls.
over-under on the number of balls lost today?
Let's see. We're playing Rocky River. I haven't played in a long time. I can't remember how open it is. That's a big factor. How open the golf course is. If it's tight and a lot of trees
Yeah, for you
and
and
pine needles, that's a dozen.
It doesn't matter if it's tight, if it's wide open, if it looks like the Astrodome. I'm losing balls.
Yeah, that'll be our Twitter poll. I'm gonna put the over under at 7. I'm gonna.
I'm going to be the first to chime in. I'll take the over.
Nice. I might be inclined to take the over too.
Yeah,
but it's a beautiful April day in New England here in Charlotte. It's sunny and about 58.
Yeah, we have 40-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah, we got high winds. Yeah,
partly sunny skies, says Kevin Lemanowicz.
I got to check my
52 degrees.
I got to check my phone. We got a red flag alert? So it's actually good conditions. A red flag warning. So it's because it's been rather dry here, and the winds are up to about 25, 30 miles an hour. So that is actually, not to be funny, but it's kind of rife for like forest fire type situations down here. So
hopefully that one.
Yeah, we know. That's the last thing.
Honestly, between the two of us, like we combined to shoot about probably a 225, and
225.
If
that's
it's
about
80
right.
degrees with 1 mile per hour winds and sunny skies.
Yeah.
Not gonna make much of a difference.
No.
Let me tell you.
Yeah. Balls will be going sideways.
Yeah. Well, you're a better later season golfer. I call you you're a July or August golfer. You're not an April golfer, probably.
Yeah, but I always come out of the block strong. Like usually my front nine's better than my back nine. But actually that's gotten better. I've gotten better at that.
But isn't that why golf should only be like 12 holes?
I like it. Yeah, 12 holes. And they should, and I forget, what's the cup, like 4 inches? I mean, it should be like 8.
Oh, God. Yeah.
That would actually make it, I mean, I know it would ruin it for like the single digit handicappers. I mean, just because of their skill. But for the average person on down, it would make the game more enjoyable, I think.
So much. And quicker, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Might eliminate, instead of a 4-putt, you might have a 2-putt.
And it will help your cause, because when Sam Pacheco asks you about coming home, 7 hours after
That's
you
right.
left.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh,
we had a faulty
wiring situation.
Well, you don't have your producer there today.
No. I know you have a tight schedule today, so we had to keep this.
We got to keep this moving.
Non-technical.
Yeah.
Yes, keep this moving. But the good news is that you're going golfing, so
getting out.
Things will open up soon.
Yeah, and and who knows how long they'll allow that. But I mean, of all the things you can do, it makes sense to cut down the parks. They've done that here in Charlotte. You can go to parks, but you're not allowed to not theoretically, you're not allowed to play baseball. You're not allowed to throw catch, football, things like that. They've shuttered hoops here. You can't play basketball. So it's
they should.
No, and I'm not criticizing. I think it's exactly what they should be doing. The one thing about golf though is that in the golf courses so far that I've only been twice, but Everybody has their own cart. It's sanitized before you get into it, and and you can just by the nature of the sport, especially with how we play. Generally I'm not with everybody else, so I feel pretty safe.
Generally, you're about 7 miles behind.
You know what the funny thing
Yeah,
is,
where's
though?
my?
The funny thing is, though, because for those of us that tend to play on the perimeters, sometimes just because there are a lot of people that shoot like you go to your ball that's maybe 10, 12, 15 feet off the fairway, maybe into the fringe of the woods, and you'll find like six other balls. Now it's like probably shouldn't pick that up.
No, I would not pick up a stray ball.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's probably never good to pick up a stray ball, but
That sounds
particularly,
kind of pornographic. So hopefully you don't.
but particularly at golf
But enough about Tom Brady.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Balls.
Well, that's an enlarged ball. Purple ball.
That's an enlarged one.
Definitely
Yes,
don't touch a
yes.
purple ball.
No. Purple. Purple's a fruit, as
Yeah.
Homer Simpson said.
Yeah,
It's
that's funny.
but as we try to establish some semblance, some hope,
Yeah.
some reason of hope. Just a couple hours ago, I read USA Today's Bob Nightingale coming out with a report today about Major League Baseball perhaps trying to streamline operations for just Florida and Arizona.
Right.
Teams would develop. There'd be divisions of teams in Florida Grapefruit League and the Cactus League. That's how you play all year.
Remember, that's what I said 2 days ago, I think, when we talked about this. I said what they really should do, because we talked about doing everything in Arizona. I said, why do that? Like, just do, the Grapefruit League and the Cactus League. I think Bob Nightingale might have been watching this.
I think he might have been. Well, he's a big fan.
He's one of the 30.
It's
better than zero. Right? It's better than 2, which would be you and me.
You can roll that gray right out of here, Blutarsky.
Yeah.
It's no, I think it's an interesting plan to have. The Lee County division is someone proposed. You can have the Red Sox would play Tampa Bay, they play Baltimore, they play Minnesota. All teams in close proximity to their spring training home.
Right. So they play Minnesota like 6 times a week.
Yeah, I think Minnesota would be a doubleheader every day. You get a lot of Josh Donaldson and Placido Polanco, but I think what you're looking at is a situation now where they're just anybody's throwing darts still, Mike. It's always
it's all on the fly.
Try to establish something to get fans optimistic.
Right. And there is early on in the before it looked like it was going to be a complete shoot down. There was a thought that kind of like in World War II. Having some entertainment, having some sports, and having entertainers do things would help people keep their minds off of this. But obviously, once we realized that social distancing had to be the way to go, we knew that was not going to be feasible. For instance, the early talk of maybe doing the NCAA tournament without crowds, or the NBA and the NHL without crowds, and that's just not feasible. And for the player safety, that wasn't feasible. So I mean, that's obviously important too, but. That's why I think it's what's been interesting. What some entertainers have been doing, like John Legend had it was 2-3 weeks ago, did a Instagram concert, and I think Saturday Night Live is going to try and figure out some way to do a show where everyone's going to be remote.
Look a lot like this mess.
Yeah, mess. Come on, this is high tech.
I say mess. With all my heart.
I of course.
Heartfelt mess.
No, I knew what you meant. You said it with love.
No, I think I watched the country music special a couple days ago. Go inside the living room of John Legend and Darius Rucker. Brad Paisley. But
who doesn't want to see Chrissy Teigen in a towel? I mean, let's be honest.
Exactly. By the way,
men and women.
Quibi too.
She's
showing Quibi too.
She does. Yeah.
Big fan of Quibi now.
You are a big Quibi guy.
Big. I'm trying to have some kinship here with Katzenberg.
Yeah, we need to get on Quibi. This needs to be on Quibi.
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
This needs to be a lot of things.
yeah, exactly. But I think that the logistics are still a nightmare, even if they could somehow pull this off to just have teams in their spring training homes. As some coach, I think it was a college football coach said, or an athletic director said, everybody says, "Oh, you just play without fans." But as he put it, I'm not very comfortable with that because what does that say? If it's not safe for the fans, is it safe for my players?
Well, it's safe for the players, right? And I had this conversation with somebody yesterday, because we were talking about doing this very thing, like playing games. We were talking about the Arizona scenario. Like, he's like, "Would you watch it?" Like, look, I mean, I'm in baseball. I like baseball. It'd be hard for me to watch those games because there's still that perception without fans that it's not real.
Right.
And I know the players would take it seriously. And Tom Brady was asked this on Howard Stern 2 days ago. Would he play? Would he be comfortable playing without fans? And comfortable wasn't the right word. I think the actual question was, would you play and not have fans there? And he said, yeah, and it wouldn't be any different for him. But I think from a fan perspective, it just wouldn't feel right without having any kind of that, atmosphere. That's exactly right. And fans, that's kind of the interesting thing too. Is we always talk about the players and the umpires, in media, but the fans are a big part of this too. Not just because they support it financially, but how much material a year. Not that it's a great, trove of material, but like I remember, was it last summer when somebody hit a home run and it landed in a lady's beer? I mean, that thing got like 1 million views. It's just things like that. And, go to Barstool Sports and some of the shenanigans that go on in the stands. But that's still part of the experience. A couple
of years ago at Fenway, there was a pizza guy. Remember the guy threw his pizza?
Oh, yeah.
Must have been, it was like 2007, I think. But
right.
Got a ton of views.
Yeah.
If you were sitting next to that woman who got the ball in the beer, you would have just drunk the ball.
Exactly. Me? Is that a you, like a plural you, or like a you as in me?
That would be you.
Yeah, I know some people that would have chugged it. Yeah. I wouldn't now. Who knows where that ball's been?
Again, let's not get pornographic.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, don't forget, they rub up the baseball, so you get that Chesapeake Bay mud rub.
You're talking rubbing balls now. We got to get time to bring
Get Wetzel in here.
Time to bring Wetzel back.
Let's get Wetzel in. Hey,
Wetzel back in my deal.
So apparently,
dear.
So I guess a bunch of people called Matt Swearad because there was a joke about who is this, and I said, yeah, who's this? Swearad, and so I guess a lot of people called him. So he watched the episode, thought it was good. So we'll have to have Matt on. Matt's my broadcast partner with the Knights.
Definitely have to get Matt on.
We'll have to have Matt on, yeah.
He used to be my broadcast.
That's right. That's right. He does. There's 6 Degrees of John Meter Perel. He's in there.
Back in the day.
Yeah, that's right. And Tommy John.
The late 90s.
Yeah.
Tommy John, who I saw the other day on MLB Network, and also on one of these. I'm watching more documentaries than I ever have in my life, but I also watched. Did you watch the 30 for 30 short on Tommy John?
I did not. I'll have to Google that. Look for that. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, you have to look for that.
He's had an interesting life, and a lot of it boils around a surgery that has. I mean, how many guys? And I'm saying this rhetorically but I know the number's pretty high, and not just pros, but how many people have been able to extend a career because of this surgery? I mean, usually that was a death knell career wise, like
a long
right. But I mean, and even position players are getting it. Like we had a guy, Tyler Saladino, who played with the White Sox and played with the Brewers. Really good player. He can do a lot of different things, but because of need, they put him in the outfield, and he tore his UCL on a throw to the infield from the outfield, and but I mean, he played in the big leagues after that. Like he had the Tommy John surgery and boom, played in the big leagues.
All goes back to Dr. Job.
Yeah,
said it should be Dr. Job's surgery and not Tommy John's surgery.
Yeah, well, and I think he's even said that.
Yeah. Actually, I think Tommy has said that. In the past.
Yeah.
But the best Tommy John line about the surgery is, "Hey," as he said to us, "Hey, it's a good thing I didn't have surgery on my ass."
Nice.
Yeah, at least it was cutting edge on an elbow.
Yeah, it was cutting edge on an elbow.
But,
that's funny.
Tommy was a treasure, as you put it. You asked Tommy John to what was it? To screw in a light bulb, and he talks about how they made electricity.
Yeah, he's very detailed.
Very detailed. Yeah.
But I mean, one thing I've noticed too about elite athletes, and almost to a person, and I wish I had this ability. I mean, besides the sports ability, but Tommy John would go back to a game in like 1975, tell you the count, tell you who was on first base, like just still has all the detail. He can even tell you what pitches he threw in what sequence. It's like I can't do that. I mean, that's crazy.
No, that is nuts. All right, Mike. Before I let you go, because I know you have tea time, and
I can't be late. I got to do a proper warm up.
You got to meet Lovey at the bar.
That's right.
There was an interesting column today in the Boston Globe by Christopher Gasper about the Patriots and Cam Newton. And he thinks the Patriots should go after Cam Newton for 1 year as a stopgap and a bridge for Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah.
And he thinks Newton would be a good fit. Belichick wants a more mobile quarterback. He thinks Belichick would be good for Newton. Newton would be good with Belichick. Newton's beaten the Patriots a couple times. They know what he can do. Is this a good idea?
To me, and I've said this about Cam Newton, and even relating back to the Panthers' decision, to me, John, it's all about, is he healthy, right? And I think that's the concern that teams have right now. And because they don't have the ability to work him out, now, I will say this about that decision. I think there's merit to it. I think if the Patriots are convinced that Cam will work in the Patriots system, and I don't think there's any reason to believe that he wouldn't. I will say this, though. I mean, Cam is a personality, but I think he's coachable. I mean, I think if Bill Belichick says, hey, just, don't give anybody anything, keep, coaches him up the Patriot way, if you will, I think he can work within that system. I mean, look, the guy won a national championship at Auburn, took the Panthers to the Super Bowl. When healthy, that he's phenomenal, and I still think he does have I think there's still some tread left on the tire, but it's not just one injury, right? I mean, it's the shoulder and it's the ankle. The ankle's been kind of a multiple situation over the years.
Lisfranc.
It had the Lisfranc this year. Now I think the shoulder it's got to be completely healed by now. I mean, so I don't know that I'd be worried about that, but I think that it's worth a flyer, but I don't know that until we get back to some sort of normalcy as far as travel and getting into contact with people. Cam Newton's not going to be. I don't think he's going. No one's going to sign him until they can work him out and when you talk about money too.
They're going to have to give. They don't have any room under the cap. They have $1.067 million under the cap.
Well, and I mean, I think, but here's
reduced deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Here's the thing, though. I mean, he was supposed to make $19 million, and I know that that's probably not likely now. But especially with the Patriots cap situation. But I think Cam's in a situation where I think he would take less on a 1 year, just on a 1 year deal, just so he could show teams that he's healthy, and then go back into free agency. And if he has a great year, then I mean, you're not going to make that money up necessarily, but it's better than sitting out a year. I mean, my fear about him is that he gets caught up in a Colin Kaepernick situation, not from like the political blackball situation, but just look, the guy wants to be a starter. He's a starter, and teams aren't convinced that he's healthy. So, you're not going to take a flyer on a guy to potentially have to compete. Like, Cam Newton's not going to come in to compete for a starting job. Like, he'll say that he will, but he's not going to do that unless he feels like he's got a high percentage chance to be the starter. Like, he's not going to come in a situation where he thinks he can lose.
No, the more I think about it, when we first talked about it, I said, that's not a great idea. But the more I think about it, the more I think, you know what? Maybe it is worth a shot. I mean, it's a flyer for him. It's a flyer for them. I don't, you have to address. We always hear rumblings about he's a bad guy. He's not a good teammate. He's high maintenance. Is that viable?
Well, but here's the thing: how many guys have had that reputation that have come in and been model citizens in New England?
A lot.
You know what I mean?
Corey Dillon.
Like Corey Dillon comes to mind. Randy Moss to a degree. Like, he was kind of considered kind of flamboyant, and he towed the line. Now, the one thing that's different about this, that I was thinking about this today actually, is that something that Bill Belichick would want to, if he felt like that was a risky proposition, right? Is quarterback the position you take that chance on? It's one thing if it's a running back or wide receiver or cornerback or whatever, right? But the guy that's going to lead your team, basically, I don't know that Bill Belichick's ever said this, but I've heard basketball coaches say this about their point guards. Like their point guard is the extension of them on the field, the extension of the coach on the field. And I think with Bill Belichick's system, I think the quarterback is definitely an extension of him and his philosophy on the field. So
Brady was that for 20 years.
Right. But Cam Newton's an interesting. I mean, he's kind of I don't know what the right analogy is, John, but it's like, I mean, healthy and driven and buying into the system. And under that scenario, I think he could be really dangerous. But I mean, the health again, that's a huge. To me, that's the big factor. But could he live inside that system? Absolutely. And listen, here's the thing. Also, don't forget about this. And people, I think, are underestimating this. I mean, Cam is very, very, very competitive. And if he's got to change himself to fit under Bill Belichick's system to prove everybody wrong, I think he'd definitely be willing to do that.
Yeah, that's why I think it does make sense.
I mean, it could, I think it's one of those things where it's like it could be a complete success in an amazing story, or it could be a complete disaster.
Yeah, but what does that mean though? To me, as I said yesterday, you can go 6-10 with Jarrett Stidham, and you can easily go 6-10 with Cam Newton.
Right.
But you're also more likely to go 9-7 with Cam Newton now than you are with Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Cam do amazing things. I think I still think he has the ability to be a top level, quarterback in the NFL. And I'm not as concerned about fitting in New England because I think he's going to do whatever it takes. I mean, this guy's playing for his career. Like, look, he's a confident guy, but I think he's smart enough to know that, sometimes you got to do things you don't like to do to be successful. And I think, I think he'd be willing to do that. And plus, look, I mean, there are a few people that turned down a chance to play for the Patriots. You know what I mean? And now some people have gone to play there and then have decided that it wasn't for them. And I'm sure there have been. Yeah. Well, you think Chris Long? I mean, he was there for year one at Super Bowl and then said, this isn't fun. I'm out of here. And so there are some people that decided that that's not for them. But if your ultimate goal, and if you go back and look at 8-9 years of Cam Newton press conferences, I mean, he's always talking about winning. He says the right things. He's talking about putting the team first and all that stuff. So I wouldn't worry about. Because I guess it was a big brouhaha a couple weeks ago. Somebody from EEI had said something that was very coded. Well, people here took it as code for racism, just saying that Cam's character was an issue. And it's not his character. I mean, you look at what he does in the community. Now, is there a flamboyance to him? Yes. But does that make him a bad character? No.
You never heard rumblings that he was a bad teammate, did you?
No, not really. I mean, it's not like. It's not like, I mean, look, the guy's never been in jail, he's never been arrested. You know what I mean? No, look, he's a personality. You know what I mean? Like he has that kind of entertainer in him. Right. He's I've seen, and I think it's fair to say moody. I mean, there's sometimes you watch those press conferences and he comes in, it looks like he wants to, slap everybody.
The Super Bowl display was awful.
Right, and that doesn't help. And we talked about this the other day. It's like, if I could have advised him from day one, it would have been to, you get more with sugar and honey than you do with vinegar, right?
Well, that's always been your dating philosophy too. So.
Exactly. But he's the one thing I will say about Cam, and maybe this scares some teams, is he is a fierce individual. But he also enjoys and understands being in a team philosophy. You know what I mean? So when you see how he dresses, that's him expressing himself as an individual. But I mean, look, John, when healthy, that guy does things that other people just can't do. And now, how long can he do it? Who knows? But I think it's worth. I could see putting a flyer in on a guy who has got something to prove. I mean,
yeah, no, I think it might gain some steam here.
Yeah.
I mean,
the other thing is though is it to me it would boil down to, does Bill Belichick trust Cam to be able to run the offense, or maybe not run the offense the way he wants it to be done, but to do it in a successful way. And does Cam Newton want to put him in a situation where he might not be the starter day one?
Yeah, I think he would be. I think that's the only reason why Cam would sign here.
No, that's what I said too. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I think
No,
it's going to be
I think
interesting.
there'd probably be a semi-battle with Stidham.
Yeah.
And Hoyer a distant third, but
Yeah.
it's good food for thought, Mike, and
yeah,
we'll have more of that coming up on Monday.
That's right.
Life Without Sports. We will have a complete weekend edition of What You Missed. Oh, it's Groundhog Day, so you didn't miss anything.
What you missed? How about nothing?
How about nothing?
You
How
haven't missed
about the
anything.
1997 Masters,
Yeah.
which we saw last night?
Yeah, I'll recap. I'll recap my round today. How about that?
Yeah, Pichico will give us hole by hole.
Yeah,
And
Friday at the Masters at Rocky River.
Friday at the Rocky River in Charlotte, and I have the over of 7 on
Seven.
the number of balls.
7 lost balls.
You
Yeah.
have to be.
And Scout's on. I'll be honest about it.
Yeah, you're an honest dude.
I am honest.
So used to take communion in Arlington. So
That's
you're an
right.
honest dude.
Well, I still do, but just not in Arlington. Although the last time I did take communion, it was in Arlington, but that was because I was at a funeral. So, but anyway, we'll discuss that some other time.
How to bring it down, Mike.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that.
How to bring it down in a pandemic.
That's right. Yeah, if you can make a pandemic worse, I think I just did.
But no, that's we look forward to more opinions about Cam and maybe your enterprising ways you can dig in a little bit to this story, see if there's any legs to it.
Yeah, I'll get my people on it.
Maybe a Panthers beat reporter coming soon.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We got to test it one more time to make sure the Josh Wetzel experiment worked well. We'll have to make sure it works out again.
Maybe you got
as far as having a guest,
as far as having a guest.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Darren Gant might be available.
Oh, Darren Gant might be an interesting one. Yeah. We'll get his thoughts.
You want to talk quirky? Well, that's quirky.
Oh, Darren's the best.
He is. Darren's a good dude.
He's a
good dude. But Mike,
yeah, have a great weekend, everybody. Is what?
Be safe out there.
Yeah, you too. You too. I got my mask too. I got my homemade mask.
Just say yes.
Yeah,
you need that. Put that on.
Got my homemade mask, so we're good to go. Yeah. All right. Be safe out there. We'll see you on Monday.
Stay healthy, everybody. See you Monday.